Welcome to the Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, everybody, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. Hope you're all doing well. Almost at the end of the week. The pain is almost over. Great news today that Leeds have brought in a body, and not just anybody, a fantastic individual in Facundo Buonanotte. They couldn't have signed a better, a player with an easier name for me to pronounce. I am so bad with pronunciations. But I'm over the moon with this signing. I'm sure, that there isn't many that aren't happy with this signing. A couple of links as well, as always. Rumoured to have been offered a couple of strikers as well, striking options that would be great if we can get those deals on over the line. But I think it's a great start to our sort of business in January, bringing in Buonanotte, a player that we wanted in the summer, and it didn't come to fruition. I sort of understand why it didn't, but a player that is here now, and I think will make an absolute huge difference for us going forward this season. So yeah, I don't think there's many people that aren't too pleased about this one. So please do me a favor, everybody, please smash a like on the stream, and we'll get into it. So let's see who's in the building so far. Hey up, Dave, as always. How are you doing, mate? Exciting signings coming in. If they come off, let's go. Evening, Top Banana, up, you good? Take all those likes for our Matty. Cheers, pal. Darcy, hey up, Darcy. Evening all. JB, how are you doing? Matty, we need to go on another run. I just don't want to go back. We need to go forward. I just want to stay up and build. I think staying up isn't going to be a problem now. I don't want to count my chickens, mate, but I honestly feel, I said it in yesterday's stream, if we had few injuries or no injuries, I think the squad's good enough. I think Leeds have been quite aggressive now by the looks of it. I say aggressive, that might be too strong a word, but it just today feels like a proper shot in the arm as a Leeds fan. They've gone about the business really quietly and got an absolute barnstorming deal. A player who's worth about 25-30 million pound in value. We've got him for free till the end of the season, and he's just going to provide so much quality. And he's probably our best technical player, best most talented player potentially till the end of the season in terms of ball at his feet, what he can do with a football. And I think that's shown a bit of an aggressive streak there to go get that transfer. I think that's a deal that we'd normally sit on and would get beaten to. And I know we got beaten to punch by Chelsea. I expected that really when you look at the calibre of the side, and they'll have been touted to be going for being in a conversation for title at the start of the season, so I understand it. But I tell you what, JB, that's a fantastic addition to us in January. And I weren't too sure where we'd go. I spoke last night heavily about Leeds probably just bringing in backup options. Like that's all I sort of think we need. Quality backup, don't get me wrong, but backup, not particular starters. Well, Buonanotte is a starter. Larsen, Dovbyk, they're starters in their own right as well. If they're the sort of players we're linked with and we're going for, then heaven help anyone around that bottom end of the table who we're going to come up against, because I think we've got a decent squad as it is. We've got a manager now that sort of stumbled on a way that sort of suits the side, and all of a sudden, aggressively as a unit, we're going for games, taking games by the scruff of the neck and going on these runs of 7 games against some of the best sides in the division. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Anyway, just where we've been of late, JB, and today's news is just making me even more excited. I'm absolutely buzzing as a Leeds fan. Aisha, evening all that. How are you doing, Aisha? Hope you're good. Good signing for us today, Top Banana, 100%. Matt Leeds, we are winning the World Cup. Whoa, imagine. We are winning the FA Cup. I tell you what, Matt, you are a proper positive Leeds fan. But I ain't gonna dismiss that, I'm not gonna dismiss that. I think when you're beating likes of Chelsea, you've got a toe-to-toe with Liverpool for 2 games. Yeah. Outliers, Brighton and Arsenal. I honestly, I think if we can sort of navigate his way through the draws, Matt, and maybe miss a City or miss an Arsenal till the latter end of the competition, why not? Why not, Matt? Why not? We're a Premier League side. We're not a Championship side now punching mother's weight. We're a Premier League side, and we're a bloody good one on us day as well. And in the FA Cup, anything can happen. Stranger things have happened than Leeds winning an FA Cup, Matt. So, yeah, a lot of people dismiss that, Matt, but I'm not one of them, pal. Let's go for it. Bremner's Ghost, Steve Noel, how you doing, pal? Hope you're good. Why are the games so far apart? I feel like it's been about 3 years since the last game. Great start to the winner, Darcy. I'm over the moon. Mike, evening, Matty. Hey up, Mike. So, how are you doing? Gavin Link, hi, Matty. Great to see you again. All Leeds that week. Cheers, Gavin. Great to see you too. Matt Leeds, Buonanotte, great signing. I don't think he will start until the cup game, but having another player who will be a game changer off the bench, and these are the players who can change draws into wins 100%. Needle movers, I like to call them. Seamus, how you doing? Evening, Matty. Can't wait to play Fulham. So it's here before you know it. Evening, Matty. Love this signing. I thought it was singing. Love this signing. I love this signing. I'll start singing for you then, Pat. Yeah, I don't think there's many people who won't like it, to be fair. What annoys me, mate, is if Facundo Buonanotte didn't want to know us last transfer window. For me, he's decent, but he has done us over. Didn't want to know us. Why was he want us now? I know, and this is going to be rhetoric for a few. I've seen a few people mention, not as many as I expected, JB. I thought there'd be a lot more people shouting this from the rooftops. But for me, it doesn't matter. It's about Leeds United. This season, it's all about staying up. I think we'll stay up anyway without Buonanotte, as I said earlier. But he's going to give us so much quality. I understand as Leeds fans, we have that emotion attached. And I've heard plenty of people say it already, if you're not a Leeds fan, Chelsea come for you, probably go Chelsea. It was a kick in the you-know-what in the summer when he chose Chelsea over us because, we had the whole debacle about playing coming and we thought we had him, just like today. There were a few people saying, let's not count us chickens just yet. We've seen this one before, but yeah, it didn't work out. He was only 21 as well. You got to remember that, JB. He's only 21. And when Chelsea come, in front of you, it's hard to turn him down. He's had a harsh reality lesson there, really, in terms of 21, you're talented, yes, but you're going to Chelsea to have a squad which is just, something we dream of in terms of the calibre of their talent and the depth of their talent. He was never going to play a big game time. He went there for Champions League football. We all laughed because, as Leeds fans, we wanted him and he didn't come to us for Champions League football. And guess what? He didn't even get in their Champions League squad. So it's been a bit of a humbling for Buonanotte, which isn't bad at 21-year-old to get that humbling, but I understand what you mean, mate. And like anything, we've had Brendan Aronson go and come back. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and for that player to win you round, they've got to do something on the pitch. And I tell you what, I firmly believe that may be a lasting memory for you, JB. But I think Buonanotte he'll soon make you smiling and be happy that he's here if you're not already, to be fair. Hey up, Longy, hope you're good. Good evening, Matt. How's it going? How many more players do you think? How many more players do you think we will sign? I think we'll get 2 more, mate. I think we'll get a striker and a left back. Although I do fancy us to get Dovbyk. What I'm going to say is I've actually done notes, right? Market opportunities. That's what I'm looking at for Leeds United. It wouldn't surprise me if we did nothing else, Longley. It wouldn't surprise me if Leeds did nothing now. We've got a good enough side anyway. Touch wood if there were no injuries, but we know they're probably going to happen. Strout's probably going to get his seasonal injury like he always does. But it's going to be, Leeds are opportunists when it comes to transfers. They always, we have been under the 49ers. We're opportunists. Loans with obligations, for me, are going to be the way forward. I don't think we're going to slap any big money down. It's going to be a case of, even maybe options if you can get it. It'll be in the best interest of Leeds United. And I firmly believe there's a feeling within the squad, the boardroom, the club, and the fan base that we've probably got enough to stay up anyway. But I do think if the opportunity comes up, they won't turn it down. And what that opportunity is, who knows? It could be a Harry Wilson later in the window, depending what happens with his contract situation. Signing Buonanotte probably rules that one out, but you never know. Opportunists again. It could be a Larsen, it could be a Dovbyk. It all depends on the scenario that Leeds find themselves in. They sign a player, someone becomes available, needing to get people's wages off the books. All of a sudden, as you get to the back end of January, a couple of deals may become available that Leeds United maybe wrote off at one point in January. So I reckon 2 at the most, Longy, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got nothing in either. But I do think, for me, I think left wing back, left full back, whatever you want to call it, is probably our weakest position now. Gabby Goodmanson's one of our best players, but underneath that, I don't think James Justin gives you enough. Being a right footer, and I love James Justin, but I don't think he gives you enough, not being a natural left footer. And that's my worry, is that side of the field. Goalkeeper's a worry, but I'm pretty sure now there'll be no goalkeeper coming in. Have I got you believing in 10th or 11th yet? Maybe top banana. If we win this week, maybe. Maybe. Was gutted this transfer didn't happen in the summer. Yes, I know, but it's happened now. We move. Evening, David. Big signing. You know what it is? It's a loan till end of season, but it feels huge. You know, he's a £25 million rated player that's been at Chelsea, that played for Chelsea in the cup game and assisted a goal against Charlton in the 5-1 win. You know, he hadn't played many games for Chelsea, but Chelsea saw some value in him only a matter of months ago. And Chelsea are World Club champions and all that, and think they're going to win title. You know what Chelsea are like. And they're a big club and they've got talent. And they saw value in Buonanotte. And we've got him. Brilliant. Probably be good for us in going to Chelsea and not getting game time. He's got something to prove. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Birmingham's going to be a struggle, 100%, but I reckon we can get... What, Birmingham? I think we'll breeze past Birmingham, mate. I really do. I don't want to be that idiotic Leeds fellow who goes, they're shy. I just think we'll breeze past them. The mid-championship, I think we'll be fine. So, Buonanotte, good side. And this type of introduction in January will raise the mood of the squad and give it a lift, keeps everyone on their toes. 100%. 100%. What a signing. Hope he gets minutes against Fulham. If I'm honest, Larry Pink, I assume we'll be registered in time. I think you've got to be registered by 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I assume we'll be registered now, to be fair. I don't think he'll play against Fulham. I really don't. I think we'll already be set on our team already. Great news today in press conference. Only Dan James who's injured still. Long-term injury to Dan James. Hopefully he'll be back soon. But, you know, your Jaden Bogle's back. You know, Born out. Anyone who's been slightly injured recently are all back. Only Dan James out. So that's great for the squad. And to be fair, I've done this little notion here because I know a lot of people are asking where he fits in. But Buonanotte, where, you know, at whatever point he comes into the side, which I think maybe after Fulham, maybe the FA Cup game when he starts getting proper minutes. Because I think Farke won't guarantee anyone any minutes, but I think Buonanotte will probably get a starting spot at some point. I think he's just such a talent. And this is where I sort of see the system for Buonanotte, because I've seen a lot of people say, well, he don't fit in the 3-5-2. And no, he doesn't fit in the 3-5-2 for me. But I think a potential of a 3-4-3 may work, or a 3-4-2-1. Probably a 3-4-2-1, to be fair, with Buonanotte and Aronson being a little bit more central. Obviously, the width coming from Bogle and Goodmanson. I've put Darlow in net there just because I prefer Darlow or Perry. Don't read too much into that. But I think that there, when you look at that side there, I don't know if you'd agree with that. You know, obviously, people have got the favourites. There'll be Nonto on bench. There'll be Okafor on bench. But I tell you what, if that is the side we went with, imagine what the bench looks like. Okafor, Nonto, you know, if Piro's still here, Metcha, Tanaka, Longstaff, there's some absolute, you know, James Justin, there's some depth on that bench all of a sudden. Our bench looks really good. And that, for me, would work. I think that system would suit Buonanotte to a T. He's not an out-and-out winger. He can play at 10, he can play at wing-back. He inverts a little bit. He likes to get in between sort of like the full-back and the centre-half. He's direct. He's got a great left foot. Leeds have been wanting a creative player to cut in off that right-hand side with a left foot, and he finds that top bins on a regular basis. He's an absolute fantastic footballer. Low centre of gravity. Quite small and diminutive. But I love that kind of player. He's going to excite Ellen Road. He's the kind of player that gets you off your seat and then annoys the crew for the stewards for standing up and getting people shout abuse from behind you. But he's going to get you up and down off your seat. He's Buonanotte. And I think him and Aronson maybe behind the Calvert-Lewin. Don't get me wrong, I love the Metcher and Calvert-Lewin up top. And obviously we're going to lead into this stream talking about Strand Larsen and Dovbyk, which if we sign them two, you know, I don't think they're becoming to be back up to Calvert-Lewin. Maybe it'd be a two up top. But even if this isn't the base formation, at times in game, you know, to sort of look at this and you've got the energy, the high octane play from Aronson. I sort of look at the Buonanotte sign and think, I've seen a lot of people say it too, maybe it's a like for like. Maybe, you know, Aronson wouldn't be on the picture with Buonanotte. Maybe it'd be Okafor on left and Buonanotte on the right. Are the two similar? I think Buonanotte's got more talent. He's a more talented, natural footballer than Aronson. I don't think Buonanotte's got the engine Aronson's got. I don't think Aronson's got the end product of Buonanotte until the last couple of games, but how long will that last for Aronson? So I think Buonanotte, it also gives Aronson that sort of competition. I'd like to say they're not a like-for-like sort of player, but you could imagine an Okafor or a Metcher playing and maybe a Buonanotte or an Aronson playing. So it gives that competition for Aronson to keep him on his toes. But I think at times that would work brilliantly. I think them two just behind Calvert-Lewin, in my opinion, it'd be a great formation to go into. What's that, Brian? Buonanotte is not better than Tanaka. He's a different kind of player, Brian. He's a totally different player. than Tanaka. In this formation, you're only going to leave yourself with 2 central midfielders, in my opinion. And I would go Ampadu and Stack for that solid base. But I love Tanaka. I'm one of them, Brian, where I would love to get Tanaka in team every game. But I'm sort of feeling at the minute, I don't know why he's out of favour. I would suggest, after his heroics against Chelsea and Liverpool, he's rarely featured, especially from a starting point. But I think this would be a sort of system that would suit Buonanotte. The 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1. But like I said, we could even go to a 4-2-3 when he can play in the 10. He can play wide right. He can play, maybe he can play in a 3-5-2 and play that role that we saw Aronson play just off of Calvert-Lewin potentially. I don't think, like I said, he's as aggressive in his running as an Aronson. I think I do like Aronson in that role. But Buonanotte probably can play just off a striker as maybe a 2 up top, like we thought Nonto could, but we haven't really seen. So all I will say is with this, it gives us different options. It gives Leeds United, it gives Farker a lot more options, more strings to our bow when things aren't working, because ultimately we are going to get found out from game to game. And Buonanotte has got that eye for a pass. He's got that X factor. Pablo, Samu Saiz, that player, that lock picker when. We had it in Championship when we were up against a low blocker. We couldn't quite break a team down. Buonanotte is that player that can do that. He's that player that will unlock a defence. And he can, he's got a shot from distance, outside the box, top bins, like I said earlier, which is what we love as football fans. And we don't tend to have many. We've gone a couple of years without us midfielders really shooting from outside the box. It's usually cutbacks and sort of tap-ins in it. So we've seen that change this season. We've seen goals from all over. And Buonanotte, again, goals, assists, 21 years of age. He's a super talent. We could be looking here, whether we get him next year or what, we could be looking in 4 or 5 years' time as Buonanotte being one of the top players in Europe. I really believe that. I think he's absolutely outstanding. And I think because he's so young in his development, so early in his development, only 21 years of age, but he's got top flight experience at Brighton, Chelsea, and obviously Leicester. Leicester and Brighton, he had 2 full Premier League seasons from being like 18, 19 years old. And then obviously he's been to Chelsea, so he's got some great experience for such a young lad. I'll get through comments again. Great signing. We push on now. Come on, Leeds. Hey up, Soul. Hope he does, mate. Just like Aronson. Yeah, well, that's it. They're there to prove us wrong out there. No one's void of criticism. If Buonanotte comes in and doesn't cut the mustard, then he'll lose his place. Some will argue we don't need Buonanotte. We're doing really well. We're creating goals. We're scoring goals. But this just gives us another option. We've all been talking about that right winger /10 who can cut in with his left foot and whip it in. That's one of the plays we haven't got. And if I'm honest, I didn't think we'd go for one. I've been saying I would love that, that player to come in, that maverick. But I genuinely didn't think we'd go for him because we've been scoring goals and creating goals, even though we don't look the most creative. We haven't got the most creative flair players, which it doesn't really matter. We're just a really good unit. We are now a well-coached side that can win games without having that lock picker, without having that X factor player. They just all do the bit and it works as a unit. But then you throw someone like that in, even if he ends up being a bench option and he doesn't start, he's still going to get more minutes at Leeds than he did at Chelsea. So it's a win-win for him. And he's coming with a hunger and the belief that he wants to be and can be in the Argentina squad for the World Cup. And we said this, a lot of people have said this too. It's a opportunist window for players that want World Cup minutes, want to get in their squads for World Cup. Can Leeds, can Farker, who's not known for massively changing things that are working, can we persuade, can Adam Blunderwood, people have called him, can they persuade top-level players that aren't playing minutes elsewhere to come to Leeds United because that's where they'll get the game time? And I was a bit unsure whether Leeds would be that club, whether Leeds had it in them to do that, to persuade these players that you come to Leeds United, you've got a chance. Because we don't massively see that, We've seen it more recently. He's got a squad he believes in. But there's even talk like Tanaka's not getting as many minutes as some people would like. We've seen Nonto. There's these players. But Buonanotte, for me, is probably technically our best footballer at Leeds now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he fits and where he fits. But for me, he's going to get game time. Because he's here for game time. That's it. He may as well stay at Chelsea and play charity minutes there. He's going to force his way into this side one way or another for me. I get a feeling that Tanaka is leaving. It's a tough one with Tanaka because we've seen this at Leeds United with a lot of players. When you're not massively in Farker's sort of favour, you don't get played. You end up being a bit part player, and Tanaka's too good for that. And the high ceiling of him and the high price he would demand, we could demand for him would, be probably 10 times what we paid for him, at 3.5 million. I'd assume we'd probably be able to get 25, 30 for him. Maybe I'm shooting for stars. Maybe I'm under selling him there, but I love Tanaka. I think he's still got a bit of time this season still to sort of keep adapting to the Premier League. We've seen him step up, I think, his level this season, creating goals and scoring goals, which is something he did a little bit last season, but I think he's doing it at a better rate this season. And he's just got to force his way in there. The competition for places within the Premier League, Stack and Ampadu, have to be in there. Then it's one of the other. Aronton's played in there a little bit. Gruev has. You've got Longstaff, who's been good at times. It's competition for places, and Tanaka's got to step up and fight for that. And all he can do is, when he gets game time, is keep going. But I'll be very, very good to see him going. I've not heard anything about him leaving. But I do think Tanaka, I do think Pirro and Nonto will be the three right now who are probably the lowest in terms of, their mood towards Farken and Leeds, in my opinion, just by what the levels are or what they've done at Leeds or to what they're being given the opportunity for now. I think they're probably the three who are probably not too best pleased with the minutes, in my opinion. Hoop earrings, whoop, whoop. Good things come to those who wait. I think he fancies his time here. He'll be good, Rev. He'll be good. Tors, evening, mate. Apologies, just got home from work. Don't you worry about it. Hope you're well. Pete Hodgson, I'm Matty in the group. Unbelievable day. So glad he picked us. All Leeds that way. He will play for us. I'm smiling like a lunatic. Just love it. It's mad what a loan signing does for us Leeds fans, isn't it? It's absolutely bonkers. Right then, guys, 53 likes, 189 of you in here already. This is becoming a regular thing, these sort of numbers for this channel. And myself, and I appreciate you all so much. You won't believe how much I appreciate you all. Please smash a like on the video. It just helps get it out to more people. Keeps it going as it is. But thank you for your support. Really appreciate it. I know we're just all excited. It's probably not to do with me. You're just dead excited to come in here and talk about Leeds, so we'll get into it. Silver has ruled out Wilson leaving, whatever happens. Yeah, it's a gamble for him, innit? Because if he don't sign a new deal, Gavin, he goes for free, and he's having an absolute monster season. And we'll touch on Fulham as a bit of a preview as we come towards the end of the video. But yeah, maybe it's one of them. Keep him there and try and persuade him to sign a new deal. Yeah, I'd be annoyed if I were a Fulham fan and he doesn't. I mean, if he gets past January, if he gets to 1st of Feb, I'd be wanting him to sign a deal then, but then obviously he increases value, makes it harder for a move if that's what he does fancy. But he's playing football of his life, so why not just crack on, Hey, boys. Hi, Matt. Hope you're well. Hey, Christopher, my mate. Hope you're good, buddy. I'm all right, thank you. I think we need 3 more signings. Goalkeeper, Trafford on loan, wing-back cover, and striker on loan with an option to buy. I would love all them 3 things, Loggy. I think striker, left-back is what we'll do. Goalkeeper would be the cherry on top because I aren't too convinced on our current number 1. Philip, players are going to have to be moved on to make room for more players. Yeah, I mean, Harrison going. If Harrison goes, which I expect Harrison to go tomorrow, I thought it'd be today. I think he goes, and if that's a replay, I know it's a different side, but left-footed winger. If it's a case of Buonanotte in, Harrison out, class business by Leeds United. What an upgrade! What an upgrade for the squad that is from a player that wasn't really playing on. Were poor. I mean, look at him against Derby, so poor. And then you look at I know, slightly different sides, I guess, but then you look at Buonanotte for Chelsea. Obviously, goes and plays 69 minutes against Charlton in Cup and does brilliant. He looked outstanding, gets an assist. Obviously playing for Chelsea, a bit different, but I do think Harrison looks so poor, and I'm surprised anyone's even looking at it in this window. But that's a great swap. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a bit of movement. If we are in for maybe a Larsen or a Dovbyk, which it would be a bigger signing than Buonanotte in terms of stature and maybe financials. Maybe a Nonto goes. Maybe a Pirro goes, maybe one of these players that isn't getting many minutes who probably maybe should bitter some people's opinions and probably to their own thought process and opinions too. Maybe one of them goes to make room, I'm not too sure. But getting Harrison out and his wages off the book till the end of the season and bringing in Buonanotte, that tick, beautiful business by Leeds. Brighton had to sanction the Chelsea move once they showed interest. Just to foster their future profitable premium sales to them. No, I get that, mate. Yeah, I get that. Cheers for that, pal. Strand Larsen next, but only if Pirro goes, I think. Strand Larsen is coming, says Darcy. I've got a feeling, Strand Larsen might bloody happen, which would be bonkers. Signed him for 30 million euros, I think, last season. Played 1 season. Got him on loan. Signed him in summer for 30 million euros. And now maybe looking at moving him on. Again, I'm going to say this. I think Leeds have a couple more bits of business to do, creative loan to buy deals, to bypass current lack of funds. That's what I've noted down here. Creative loan to buy deals, to bypass a current lack of funds at Leeds United. The PSR issues and all that. Can you kick the can down the road to the summer? Can you bring these players in now? A bit of a loan fee, and then maybe a Strand Larsen would have to be an obligation. Maybe Wolves are already looking towards next season. With everyone being a Championship side and thinking, we go down, maybe there'll be 5-10 million quid knocked off that price. And let's be fair, if they go down, when they go down, he won't want to be a Championship player. Yeah, he did actually play for him in FA Cup, didn't he? Yeah, maybe with cup tie stuff. I never know, mate. I would assume he's probably cup tied. Evening, Matty. MOT. I think Pirlo will move the back end of the. I do, Mark. I expect Pirlo to go. He wants to stay and fight for his place. I understand that. What else can he say? I want to go. He ain't going to say that. And he loves Leeds. I'm sure of that. But I think he goes. And he's one of those players for me. If it's not even if Farke don't fancy him, we just know he ain't going to play him. We're even talking now. It's 100% accurate that Leeds are looking at another striker. We won't bring a striker in until Pirlo goes, or we know there's somewhere for Pirlo to go. You've got to let him go play football. Got to let him go play football for me. No room for Okafor, Tanaka or Pirlo, even James in that formation. It means we can switch it up with changes to keep the oppo guessing until they figure it out. Exactly so. And by the time they figure it out, you can switch it back to something else, can't you? He'll offer the balance on both wings with Okafor should we need that set-up option in games, 100%. Tanaka is a £30 million player. I think so too, Brian. I do. I'm just happy that Leeds are being proactive and not reactive. Welcome to the madhouse. Buonanotte. He's going to love it. Say up, Sarah. How are you doing? He'll absolutely love it at Leeds. Absolutely love it. But yeah, proactive. It's a word we use a lot. Talking about other sides, we're normally using the term reactive for Farke and Leeds. But yeah, it's a great bit of business buys. It really is. Loving how many options we have now. Fantastic vlog, mate. Cheers, Pete. Always positive comments. Thanks so much, mate. Hey up, Kershaw. Farke did comment in the presser that Stack has played further forward, which isn't his strength. I wondered if he's hinting Buonanotte could be using those. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you're going to see him further up there, being that creator. And I think Stack's probably going to find himself sat a little bit deeper with Ampadu, and you're going to find, a really solid base in that midfield there. And I really like the idea of like a 3-4-2. Sorry. I think we stick with a 3 at the back. That has to be a thing. I like the 2 up top, but I think with Buonanotte coming in, with Aronson's resurgence, with Okafor and the options we've got up there, I think the 2 strikers we may not see very often. We haven't seen it really since Metcher had that knock and went out after looking really good in DCL. But again, it's a great option to have again. When you want to go direct towards back end of a game, you bring Metcher and you can go to 2 up top. And if you bring in a striker, even better, a better quality than Metcher, then all of a sudden you're just elevating again in that role. But I think as a squad, to have so many sort of options and formations, we haven't seen this in Farke at any point in his career that we've seen. Don't get me wrong, I didn't keep tabs on him in Germany, but having a brief look, it looks like it's always been sort of a 4-2-3-1, sometimes a 4-3-3, in and out of formations during games, not really a thing. Now, yeah, he were lacking a couple of areas for Leeds United. Buonanotte ticks the main one that he didn't have in the squad. We've still got backup options needed to thicken it in certain areas. But I think Buonanotte were probably the last piece of the puzzle of what he didn't have, that creative 10/winger with a left foot. And I think that was the one he wanted. That was we wanted Pajal, we wanted Harry Wilson, we wanted somebody. I know Wilson isn't left-footed, but we wanted somebody. I don't think is Wilson left-footed. I had too short on that one, actually. I didn't think he was, and I said it. I'm thinking, is he left-footed? Or was he just bloody good with both? He's a bloody talent, I know that much. But I feel like this is a signing that we were just missing in the summer. Just that sort of level of player, that profile of player, and we've got it now. And hopefully we don't stop there. Also, we just strength in depth injuries happen, of course I do. Evening, Bumderklats. Evening, Ask Gemini. How are you doing? He ends the 3-5-2. It will be 5-4-1 with him in the team. I love Tanaka. Non-2, need them to stay. Great options, bench options, probably by the looks of it. Ask Gemini. It's an hard, and what I'll say is fan favourites and that, you're always going to have a Marty, but it's one of them where in the Premier League you need a squad where the bench options are viable starting options. Harry Wilson is left-footed. Cheers, Richard. Cheers, my mate. So there will always be players on bench that maybe we'll look at and go, they should be starting. And that's great. That's what I want to see from my Leeds United side. I want to see players on the bench who make me feel like that. I don't want to look at his bench like we have done years gone by, even in Championship, last couple of years. You look at the bench and there's only a couple Farker Trust, there's only a couple we're asked about seeing. Now there's a viable option there in every single seat. All 9 subs, you bring 5 on. You probably, there's an argument, maybe 6 or 7 should be coming on. And that's what we need. That's what we need. And it's probably the strongest squad I've seen at Leeds United in a long time. Potentially with more to come. Still, a little bit dead wood, obviously. He's going out in Jack Harrison. I do think I'm talking about Jack Harrison like he's gone now. But I do expect him to go. Morning, mate. Just on a plane heading to Sydney from the Gold Coast. Hopefully win this weekend. Cheers, Roger, for rubbing that in, mate. Safe flight. Lucky bugger. Class. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, my mate. Yeah, and hopefully win this weekend too. I'll say I'm going to get into Fulham preview towards the end, but I tell you what, they're on a pretty good run of Fulham. That ain't going to be easy at all. Tanaka, Leeds' best player. Brian, you love that guy, don't you? I can tell. So says they won't sell him. His market potential to the Asian market is astronomical. And don't forget, Facundo is a lone player that returns to Brighton. Yeah, 100%. I don't think they'll sell Tanaka, obviously in January. Definitely not. We'll see we'll see sort of what his role is from now to the end of the season, see what happens in the summer. What I'll say is anybody is sellable, for the right price. Everyone's got a price. The club will have, prices for each player, what they think it's worth. There's a massive sell-on potential for Nonto. There's a massive sell-on potential for Tanaka. I think Tanaka will stay. I think he'd be the one that I do see having a future at Leeds United and hopefully being a main player because I absolutely love the guy. Nonto, love him too, probably equally. I absolutely love Nonto. I think he'll be the one that goes me. I can see Nonto going. Not in January. I think he stays in this winter window. Could see him maybe going in the summer though, which would be a shame. Fulham aren't beating us at home. I love that. I love that. Shout out to under the radar scouting and recruitment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much scouting and recruitment. How much scouting Buonanotte took. To be fair, we knew we were in for him in summer. Everybody knows that Buonanotte is a top talent. But I tell you what, shout out to the way they've gone about this deal. We heard about it from Fabrizio. He'd obviously already done his medical and, been having photos in kit. Within 4 hours, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. With a press conference in the middle of it too, which he denied anything happening or just said he ain't going to talk about anything. Unbelievable. And it's somebody who's got a YouTube channel would like to talk about rumours and stuff. And there's a point now where you guys will turn around and go, well, do it in silence. Any rumours you talk about, it's pointless now because we don't know. And that's fine. It's one of them. I enjoy talking about them if they're out there. Sometimes we'll hear about them from the other side. Sometimes we won't. I think the fact that this was a deal done in England, between Chelsea, Brighton, Leeds, being able to keep it in-house. I do think when this stuff, especially from abroad, it can get leaked that side, which sometimes there's a bit more credibility to it. But, you're probably well within your right to say, shut up talking a load of shite, Matty, because there's a massive chance that any players that come in, we don't know it's happening. And I tell you what, from a fan point of view, love that. Absolutely love that. That was an exciting day for all of us, that wasn't it? What an exciting, afternoon, morning, dinner time, whatever it was. I've lost track of how it even happened today, but early doors. And then before time I'd even got home from work, it's signed, sealed, delivered, and his hair holding his Leeds shirt, which were fantastic. So there hasn't been any nervy, going to bed thinking, is it going to happen tomorrow or day after? A little bit like us waiting for Harrison to move. Come on, mate, get going. We don't want that one to fall through. That's dragged on for a few days. Buonanotte might be happening. It is happening. Oh, he's there. Great. What an exciting day for the Leeds fan. Hi, mate, pal. Great business. Hey up, Carl. Hope you're good. Enjoyed listening tonight. Very positive signing. Where's the young lad tonight? Glad you both enjoyed Sunday. Cheers, mate. He's in bed, Coy. He's in bed. He goes to bed about 7, half 7, depending how he goes. But he's in bed fast asleep, hopefully. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. Let's get 150 likes, says Chris. That would be brilliant. Cheers, mate. 97 likes already after only 34 minutes. Thanks so much for all your support. Smash a like, please subscribe. Harrison can F off. Matthew, unfortunately, Farker hasn't got the breathing room to make experimental changes in the squad. He has to be the best squad for the opposition. Maybe we were mid-table. We would see more rotation. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to stick with a pretty similar squad for each game. But I think in-game now, you may see changes or you will see changes. I think he'll start with 3 at the back, 3 centre-halves. If it's not working, you'll see one of them come off and a midfielder come on or a winger come on and he'll change it up mid-game. But I still think you'll see the 3. He'll be in some sort of adaptation of the three at the back and the two up top. Whether it's two up top or two just in behind, or a three up top with two wingers either side of DCL. But the three at the back, I think, will remain every game. But in game, you will see, I think, potentially that change. Whether it's a Strauch who comes off, we saw Buonanotte come off, didn't we, a couple of times when he started for Rodon, just to sort of change it up a little bit and keep the opposition guessing. And go for it as well a little bit, at Anfield, just go for it. Bring a midfielder on and try, and we did it against Scum as well, didn't we? DCL and Callum Wilson will be lethal up top. Yeah, potentially. I'd have Callum Wilson on a free. I've had a message come through now saying he's off to Celtic. Don't know how true that is. Yeah, I've had a message come from my WhatsApp saying he's going to Celtic. Let me know if you've seen that. Jack Harrison, best news this window, if it goes through, combined with his poor displays, application was below acceptable standards. Yeah, I'm shocked that anybody even wants him, to be fair. I really, really am. We have the new baby Pablo in the team getting there. So happy. Yeah, I agree. Great signing by Leeds. Hopefully more to come. I hope you're okay, mate. Top. Oh, yeah, cheers, Paul. I'm really good, Carl. I'm doing okay. Hope you're good. Leeds dub. I go for a Fulham draw. Farke is terrible. 11 points out of 54. I'd sack him. I go for a Fulham draw. Wow. What do you think about that? To be fair, after Forest, I was calling him terrible, so maybe I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but he doesn't seem terrible right now to me, mate. If we can get Harrison out, it will be like winning the lottery. Gonna say, I thought it just didn't sound right, but yeah, 11 from 45. We'll go with that. I would put Pino out on loan because we have injuries. We ever have injuries, we would be able to recall him. Hey up, Raj. Exciting times coming. Let's get two more. Defender and a forward. Doke in Larsen. Sell Pino and Harrison. Leeds. Be a good window that. I still think we need cover on the left back. Left back for me is a priority. Evening, Matty. Hey up, Bill. I really do wish they open the books and really see the PSR numbers. I still think they have money. Buonanotte, a good player, and glad they got him. Yeah, I agree with all that, mate. It'd be lovely to know, wouldn't it? I would have got a solid defender and get a good striker. Evening, I up, Richard. Up, you good, mate. Last time around in the Premier League, we went down at the same points as now. Oh, Leeds dub, you're fairly negative. It's hard to be negative where we are right now for me. 1 loss in 8, we threw in cup. I just think do you not feel the momentum? Do you not feel, I don't know if you live in area or go to games, I'm not too sure, but everywhere I go, I'm just feeling a buzz. I'm feeling excited to be a Leeds fan, excited to get to the stadium, excited to speak to my mate at work. I'm feeling the buzz, don't get me wrong. It's not a Bielsa buzz. It's not like the city's on fire like it once was, but I'm feeling, you go there about the same points you went down. I just think it's a different feel. I'm going off the feels. I'm a feels kind of guy, put for all the stats in the bin and all that. I just feel the buzz of the squad, of the energy, the aura around the club now, Leeds dub. You compare us to where West Ham are, chalk and cheese night and day. We ain't going down this season. You can put that stat out there that it's a similar number or same number. I understand that, but we were a sinking ship last time. We are a sinking ship this time. We're on an upward trajectory, and I think the signing today shows that. But it's fine. Your opinion's your opinion, and you're right to point out the fact that it's the same number of points. But I just feel it's a different Leeds team. It don't feel negative. It doesn't. It does at West Ham. Don't feel negative at Leeds. So I just can't. I'm just not there, mate. Toz, we are starting to look like a team that has got options. The biggest criticism last season was we only had one way of playing. Of course it was, Toz. Of course it was. DCL could be around 20 plus goals this season. I tell you what, DCL will be, we're happy. DCL will be the happiest man in Leeds today with that signing. Telling you now, he will be over the moon. We've got, like I say, a really well-drilled side. We've not many X-Factor players. We look at Okafor as that, but he hasn't quite hit the heights. Aronson's shown, that sort of end product in the last couple of games, but isn't known for that sort of creative spark. Honestly, and look at the goals DCL's been scoring. Look at the numbers. Look at the chances created for DCL from players that we thought had a lack of creativity. Now you brought Buonanotte in there. DCL's good. I think he could take him to another level. It should take him to another level because he should get more opportunities. DCL isn't missing many opportunities now, like he was start of season. I haven't seen DCL need 3 shots to score. He's 1 or 2 and it's a goal. I expect him to be getting 4 or 5 chances now if Buonanotte is slotted in behind him because he's that kind of player. He will create for DCL a lot more chance than DCL's currently getting. Sarah Mitchell, fab as always, Maya. Thank you so much. I'm good, Tar. I've watched you since you used to panic if you had more than 50 people. Look at you now, bossing it. Well done, love. Thanks so much, Sarah. That's hilarious. Yeah. I do. To be fair, I do sort of brick it when it goes above 150. I start panicking because I know I could be on here all night, but I do love it. So it's one of them. If I'm on here 2 hours, I'm on here 2 hours. I absolutely love doing this. But yeah, I'm a little bit shocked. I am a little bit shocked that there's 200 people here. I ain't gonna lie, but it is what it is. We just go, don't we? We just go, and I try and act like I know what I'm doing. Do you think we use 2 up top, Metcher and DCL, down to them, both being injury prone, and he wants Metcher to come on for DCL? Chris, I think my preference would be Metcher and DCL because I absolutely love that combination. I'm old school. I love that two men up top, big man, little man, although we do a big man and big man. And I think if you're a centre half or 2 or 3 centre halves, whoever they play against us, I think you're going to have a solid time with them too. I think, honestly, right, DCL has done crazy stuff this season and he's getting all the plaudits, and so he should. Metcher's gone under the radar. And not everyone likes Metcher, but Metcher for a free transfer has been right up there. Right up there. You know, even against in the cup, you know, a lot of people say, he's not DCL, it doesn't stick. I think he does all right. He's just a lesser version of DCL. He's still physical. He still holds ball well. Beautiful play to win that penalty away at Derby. Beautiful ball across to James Justin for that goal. I think Metcher's gone under the radar. I know the 4 goals. Again, people go, yeah, but 2 of them were penalties and 1 of them he missed. No matter what you say about Metcher, there's always a negative that follows. I think Metcher's done brilliant, and I think next to DCL, I think they complement each other really well. But I do think it's going to be more in-game. You're going to see Metcher come on. I think with the addition of Buonanotte and the fact that Leeds are certainly looking at another striker, a top caliber of striker, which does surprise me, tells me that Metcher probably is going to fall down pecking order. But I do expect him to come on late in the game, run the channels, you know, bully defenders, get in there. He's athletic, he's tall, he's strong. So I think he's got a massive role to play. But I do think, ideally, if we got all the sort of transfers we want, which I do think is another centre forward, I think he falls down pecking order again. And I don't think we'll probably see him start as a 2 up top, in my opinion, Chris, very often. Maybe in game. But we've seen him come on as well, haven't we, on that wide left-hand side to make up sort of like a winger at times, which he can do as well. But I'm a massive Lucas Metcher fan. And I hope a lot of people in chat are. I hope he gets a lot of credit because I think he's been fantastic signing. Mike, would you be happy with Buonanotte? Maybe Callum Wilson, the left-sided cover. I think that would do for me. Callum Wilson will be short. So, yeah. A lot of people will laugh at that because obviously it's a stream where we talked about Dovbyk and Strand Larsen as well. I also like the idea of just bringing in a bit of a fixer right now. Just somebody to just plug the gap that maybe Pirro leaves. And if Callum Wilson come in for Pirro for 6 months, I think Callum Wilson for us right now is an upgrade on Pirro because I think Callum Wilson would be used. I don't think Pirro will be. So I think as of right now, Callum Wilson will be a better option till end of season than Pirro. But then I would want us to move on. You know, it is only a short-term deal. Thank you very much. Kiss me ass goodbye and bring in one of these top players to rival Calvert-Lewin. What I don't want to see Leeds do is what we've done before. So Calvert-Lewin's having a great season. Let's say he ends the season on 17 goals like Bamford did. Brilliant. All of a sudden, he's had an injury-free season. He scored 17 goals. He's playing for England in World Cup. He's now a £30 million player again, which is, let's be fair, fit Calvert-Lewin, 28, 29-year-old, is that price. And we gamble on it and go, right, that's it. And then he breaks down next season and we're struggling. We need to always be trying to bring in quality. So whether it's a Larsen, a Dovbyk, or whoever it is, now or at the end of the season, we have to always upgrade. We always have to bring players in for competition. And I think a fit DCL could be our striker for the next 3-4 seasons, leading the line for Leeds. I do. But we need other players in and around him. That's why I'm surprised that the Strand Larsen did, just because of how good he is. £40 million price tag, which we wouldn't be paying, by the way. I'd be so shocked if we got Larsen, even in summer, even on a loan or obligation now. It would absolutely stun me. Because I honestly think we just need a gap filler. I just need someone to plug that gap that I think Pirro will leave. Because I think he goes. Maybe I'm wrong with that. And if he doesn't go, then I don't think we bring any striker in. Because we've got enough options. Yeah, if DCL gets injured, we're struggling. But same again with defence. I don't think we massively need a centre-half. But if we get an injury, we do. So I don't know. I'm a bit all over the shop with where we go after this. But Callum Wilson, I think a lot of people laugh at that. But as a gap filler, I'd definitely have him. Now bringing Nets as cover, left back, left wing. I've seen Zinchenko as well. A few people mentioned Zinchenko. Anybody who would be happy for competition till the end of the season, I'd have on that. You know, anyone of any notion, Zinchenko would have 100% to battle Goodmanson for that left-hand starting spot. Who's starting on top to DCL against Fulham? Let's hope we've met you. I think it'll be. I don't think he'll go to up top. I think it'll be similar to what we saw last game. I think Aronson will be just behind. Maybe. Yeah, I think it might be Aronson and DCL with three in midfield. I think it may. Yeah, I think it might be that Aronson just off DCL is probably what I think he'll do. So it might be like a 3-5-2, but it won't be two out and out strikers. I expect Aronson just to be just off him. Easy tease. Evening all. Evening Matty. I left-footed inverted winger who can probably do 10 is Wilson. 215 watching. Well, that was a while ago. 138 likes. Thank you so much. 228 watching. Please smash a like and please subscribe to the channel. Great channel, Matty. All power to you. Thanks, all boxed up. I really appreciate that. Just while there's so many people in as well, if you're not subscribed, make sure you are and make sure your notifications bell is on because tomorrow's Late Night Leeds and a lot of people watching now will all know about Late Night Leeds. My favourite show of the week, me, AG and Boss Nass talking about everything that's happened in the last 7 days since last Friday, and there's quite a lot to get into. And there's a Leeds United quiz, fun, loads of bits of fun and games in there and laughs and banter. So make sure you come back for Late Night Leeds. That'll be at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I thought I'd mention it while there's this many people in. So yeah, don't miss Late Night Leeds at 10 o'clock. Hey, up, Mate, another live. Behave, man. You're spoiling us. What a siding getting there. Let's hope a couple more coming too. Centre back, right back for me. Right back. Yeah, left back. Strand Larsen would be a statement signing. Would show the owners mean business. He is still only 25. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to get into this now. So I'm probably going to click on the wrong one here. What's this one? Got that many. So Graham Smith earlier. It's always possible Leeds United hit February without further addition. But if they are able to find something doable and beneficial in this window, the smart money is on one position and Farker hasn't ruled out. And we know it's alluding to there. He's a striker, and this came in the Evening Post earlier too. An article, and this just says here: with Buonanotte's arrival confirmed, Leeds are expected to stay alert for possibilities to strengthen in one or two other positions, and centre forward is understood to be one of those. So it looks like Leeds United are certainly looking for a centre forward, and that leads me on to these two lovely folk. So Ekrem Connor, who's credible-ish. He's got a lot of followers, and that's currency and that in it on Twitter. 50-50 hit rate, but a lot of noise now around these. We saw the odds slash from 33-1 to 2-1 for Larsen yesterday, which is a weird thing to happen. There has to be something in that for that to happen, but I'm not a gambling man. I'm not too sure. Dovbyk, we wanted him in the summer. And obviously didn't get him, but Leeds United are interested in Artem Dovbyk and Jorgen Strand Larsen. AS Roma are prepared to let the Ukrainian striker leave following the transfers of Marlon and Vaz. So they've brought in two attacking options, which may lead Dovbyk to go. He's had a few injuries this season. He's currently injured, due back, I think the 25th of Jan. So he's still got a week or two until he's due back from his injury, which is less than ideal. But will that stop a side like Leeds going for him? Potentially not. Like I say, it's not a bad injury. He's just got a bit of a knock towards back end of Jan. I think Dovbyk would be a great option. A little bit cheaper than Strand Larsen, I think. Best thing about Larsen is I don't want to see taking him away from relegation rival, but with Strand Larsen, Forest are linked with him too. And obviously West Ham have been having a nosy. So it's not a case of taking him off a relegation rival in Wolves, because for me, I don't look at them like a rival now. They're going down. But I do look at the other sides who may look at a Strand Larsen and may gamble on it just to try and stay in the division. If we can take him and beat them to the punch, that'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Apparently, I've heard the rumours again. It's all the rumour mill stuff that Leeds have been offered both players. There's been a conversation where, and now it's just a case of, like I said earlier, a creative loan to buy deal. Because obviously the £40 million price tag that they wanted for Larsen, I don't think they'll get that now. They bought him for €30 million in the summer. So they're going to want to get somewhere close to that. But if we can get a loan fee now with an obligation for 25-30 next season, then that would work. That would be great. And I think at 25, he's 6'3". He's got abundance of talent. He's a great age. He's that sort of level of player that I think in your second season in Premier League, I'm jumping a bit ahead here, but I do think we obviously stay up this season, can kick us on again. And it's great competition for Calvert-Lewin, if not a great partner for Calvert-Lewin too. And obviously Newcastle wanted him for £55 million last season. He hasn't had the best of seasons so far this year. I think he's got 6 goals, 3 of them in Cup, 3 of them in Premier League. Not massive numbers to what he did last season. But again, look where he's playing. He's at Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are a poor side. So, yeah, let me know what you think on them too. Let me just bring that down. I'll get back to some of your comments from earlier. Smash them likes, come on, please. Thank you, Brian Keane. Matty, you could manage this team and come in top 10. Farker playing Gruev instead of Tanaka tells me everything. He's a bluffer out of his depth. I'm not too sure I could, mate, but I appreciate the chat. Thank you. Tanaka isn't going anywhere. Nonto isn't a Fark favourite. Yeah, Nonto win. William Pido equals Strand Larsen. William Pido and a lamppost, maybe. But yeah, I like that. Playing Gruev is like leaving our Lee Boyd and playing Calabar. How excited is your lad? Unbelievable, Cammy. Oh, my lad's well excited, mate. He absolutely loves it in the Theo. I don't think anyone... I do, Richard, I do. I think Pido goes. I really do. Especially if we're looking for a centre-forward, Pido's still there not playing. I think that happens. What do you think our chances are to get Larsen? I don't think it's high. Honestly, it'll be the most surprising signing ever, what it'll feel, because he's a 30+ million pound player. We don't have that money right now, but again, a creative loan to buy. If we can manage that, if we can get Strand Larsen, all of a sudden the whole talk around Adam Underwood being inexperienced and the 49ers, all of a sudden all that chat goes away. That all goes away. But again, I think we've got enough in just getting cover, and then we go again in summer. What I don't want to do is have an obligation for 35 million quid for Strand Larsen, him come in, not hit the heights that we all think he may hit, and it not really work out, and then have him in summer thinking, wow, we've just paid 35 million for a player that we didn't actually like that back end of the season. Not saying that will happen, and not saying if that does happen that you read too much into that, because obviously coming to a new side, maybe he doesn't hit the heights straight away, and maybe it comes later on. But I quite like the idea of fresh blood in the summer rather than bringing someone in now. We saw Burnley do it, didn't we? I know it was different from Championship to Prem. 2 or 3 obligations, maybe more than that. By the time they come up, they buy them players, 35 million pound, the budget's already gone, and they weren't too keen on them. You know, Jade Anthony's done really well from this season, but they're still going down. But I quite like the idea of reassessing in the summer and not putting too much down now for a player that in the summer maybe we want to go a different way. Maybe maybe we stay up this season and maybe they get a new manager next season. All of a sudden, Strand Larsen's maybe not the kind of striker that a new manager would want. So yeah, I'd quite like to have him, obviously, because I think he's a super talent. But yeah, if it's an obligation, it's going to be for a big chunk of change in summer, and whether that'll suit us in summer, I'm not too sure. Love your podcast, mate. Keep it going. Trevor, thanks so much. Thanks so much, mate. I don't know where 150 extra people have come from in the last few weeks, but I'll tell you what, I'll take it every day a week. So yeah, thanks so much for all your support. You're making a fat lad from Leeds very, very happy. Very happy. Very nervous at times, but very happy. If you ain't rooting for Farker now, showing every bit of composure, adaptability, any of us could have wished for turning HMS Elliot Tanker. I think Farker's doing absolutely brilliant stuff. I really do. Revy Delights, even if we only get 11 points, I still can't see. Well, I've always said, Revy, we need 38 to 40, but every week it's getting less is that number because West Ham are so poor. I would still like us to get 40 plus, and I think we can do that. But I tell you what, we've got 5 wins in 21. A lot of people are saying, oh, we'll get 4 or 5 wins. We've only got 17 to go, but I think we've got some really favourable fixtures. Fulham at home, obviously, they're on a good run, but Fulham at home, we can win that. Burnley at home, Forest at home, got some decent Wolves at home. I think we can win at least 3 of them. So, still got right and left in my shoes. Meant left back. Harrison is reluctant to go. Let's help push him on Sat. Yeah, I hope he goes. I think it's just over his wages, percentage of his wages. Apparently, they want Leeds to help with that. They don't want to pay the full 90 grand, which I don't blame them. But you know, if you're going to loan him and you don't have to pay for him right now, I think the least you can do is just pay his wages. Ramazani just got an assist, by the way, in the cup. Get in, easy teaser. Thanks for that news. Massive Ramazani fan. Come on, Rama. If you're staying there, get bloody working. See you back at Leeds next season. Yeah, Graham, it's not a team, it's turned into a machine. It feels like it. I know the loss against Newcastle were gutting, but I still saw enough of that game to excite me. And it hasn't stalled the momentum, has it? It hasn't. And then obviously we go to Derby and score 3, another exciting game. Bit of jeopardy, which there always is with Leeds. It's class. I go 6 home, 6 away. Good lad. Good lad. Good lad. Tony, evening, everyone. Evening, Tony. Let's hope Cresswell goes for big money. Yeah, I mean, if he goes to Wolfsburg for in and around 20 million quid, we'll get a nice kickback. 15% sell on. I think it'll equal about 3.5, just over, plus a 3.5 we got for him. Takes that transfer up to about 7.5 million quid, easy teasy. Does that make it a good deal then? Because I would go with sold him for 3.5. But I tell you what, 3.5 million coming in now with the PSR one is a welcome 3.5 million. So hopefully he does move on. And to not move to West Ham, a relegation rival, would be nice. I don't want them to strengthen in any way. Lose Paqueta, and then hopefully no one comes in with money you've got spare because you're a sinking ship and we're laughing. But I expect them to strengthen. But I've heard West Ham are looking at Lascelles from Newcastle. Wow, that's I don't mind Lascelles, but I won't want him at Leeds, that's for sure. So if that's the sort of play they're looking at instead of a Charlie Cresswell, nice one. I don't think we need that now, Emmett. I've always said we do, but I don't think we need 40 now. We need 39. Rich Bedford, Matty, always remember you're amazing and awesome. Thanks, mate. You too, Richard. Thanks so much, man. I'm one of those awkward people who don't know how to take, like, nice comments. Other than saying thank you, it makes me a little bit shy, but yeah, thanks, man. Class. Thank you. If you switch to 3-4-3, then Buonanotte and Nonto on either side of DCL would be good. It would. I think a 3-4-3 is you'll see that a lot. I think you're going to see that a lot from now to the end of the season. Good things out here. We go again. I don't know what to say. Good things happen to good people. Good night. God bless, my friend. Good night and God bless too. My little ticket master there, Sarah. Thanks so much, Sarah, for that. Thanks for everyone's nice comments. And thanks for everyone just engaging with channel. It means the world. Yeah, we're pushing 5K all of a sudden. You know, a couple of hundred still away, I think. But yeah, unbelievable to be. Thank you. Kershaw. If Leeds win 4, West Ham need to win 7. That's where I am, Kershaw. From 17, could be even more if you had the draws. No reason to be negative right now. That's how I see it. Can Leeds win 4 out of the next 17 games? Of course they can. Can West Ham win 7? I would say that's a stretch too far for me. You know, when you look at them, I think that's too far. They aren't going to do that for me. I'm looking at home win on September. Oh, sorry, on Saturday. It wouldn't be saying that in October. Yeah, I agree. Matty, mate, the only championship we have left in this team is Pirro and Gruev and Mez. Really, the rest are proof. I agree with that, actually, mate. I haven't really sat and thought about who's still championship sort of quality. What I will say is Gruev, and I've always said this, JB, I think he's Premier League level at the position he is, which is 5th choice. Obviously, you've got players in all sorts of sizes. Obviously, I speak to Wayne, Sunderland fan. They've got Chris Rigg. He says he's championship level. You're always, as a championship side, always going to have some fringe players at you. You think, maybe in between. Pirro, I think, is in between. Probably top end championship, bottom end Prem. And they end up just being squad options in the Prem, and that's fine. Gruev's 5th choice is serviceable at this level. I think Pirro at 3rd choice, 4th choice, centre forward probably isn't serviceable just by his physicality. Don't think it's there. I think Gruev can play a role, and he's playing a really good squad role, is Gruev. But I agree with that. I actually think Mez might be League One, mate. We'll disagree on that one. John Pepper, I'm excited for this signing. We still need 1 or 2 more just to get over the line. Come on, Leeds, you can do this. Yep. LUFC edits. Metro DCL will work so well together, especially with the creative flair behind them. Buonanotte. I'm not sure how it'll work with in that sort of system. Maybe got a bit of a diamond. I'm not too sure if we'll ever see Metro DCL and Buonanotte. But I'll tell you what, again, could you imagine 2 centre forwards who are as strong as them and as dynamic and direct as them with someone like a Buonanotte? Because I think creative-wise, he gives you so much more than Aronson. Let's be fair. Aronson at the minute is like, you know, the America boy. He's a star boy right now. But Buonanotte is a better footballer than Brendan Aronson. Buonanotte, for me, is the best, the most technically gifted footballer we've got at the club now, which may sound wild to some people, but I think we can all agree we haven't got the most of creative sort of like stardust sort of players at the side. It's just a really well-coached side of really good footballers. But technical ability, there isn't many outside, you know, maybe 2 or 3 of them. And I think Buonanotte is that next level up. So he's going to create chances for everybody in that side who passes him. Sell and buy Parrott. Yeah, I'd love Parrott. Again, more similar a Pirro sort of level player, would want to play next to a Calvert-Lewin. But Parrott's gone quiet now, Brian. I've done a video on him in past. I thought in the summer we may get him. I certainly thought going into January we may get him, but he's loving his time in Holland. He's going to get back to Premier League with somebody. I just don't think it's Leeds United. Unless, Brian, we don't take a gamble, or I say a gamble, we don't go big for a striker now. Maybe we do in the summer, maybe he's that guy in the summer. But if we go for big for a transfer for a striker now in January, which we're rumoured to be looking at, I think, whoever it is, plus DCL, I don't think then you'd bring in a Parrott, because then I think you've got maybe too many starting forwards, which I wouldn't moan about. It's not our problem, is it? It's not our problem financially. It's not our problem stress-wise, who gets inside and where, which we do like to do as a fan, don't we? How's this going to work? Where's he going to play out? What? Really, I ain't bothered. That's up to manager. That's what they get paid the big money for. And Farke's got the best job in football, in our opinion. I'm sure you all agree. And I just want to see top draw players trickle right down through that 25-man squad. But realistically, I don't think Parrott comes. Michael got like to see more from Okafor, saying that, do we need more wingers left and right? I don't think we do now. Buonanotte can play it right. So right now you've got Buonanotte who can play as an out-and-out winger if you needed, but he does come inside a lot. He isn't really going to go outside and beat a man. He's not going to hug the touchline, but you've got Dan James who does that. So all of a sudden you've got Dan James who's that out-and-out winger. On that side, you've got Buonanotte, who's a totally different option on that right side. And left-hand side, you've got Okafor and you've got Nonto. So actually, and you've got Aronson as well, who can do a left, right, or central. So I don't think we need a winger now. I think Buonanotte, that's that winger, that creative player that we needed. That one ticked off now. I think now it probably is the striker, which I don't think's desperate for, but I think we could probably do with it. Left back, centre back. They're the three areas I think, but I think we only get two done. And I think it might be a striker and a left back, Michael. Would you try replace Dan James? I wouldn't, Chris. I think he's a totally different profile to anyone we've got inside. And raw pace is frightening for anybody. What I will say is Dan James now has found himself in that position again at Leeds United, where when he were riding that crested wave in Championship, he was first name on team sheet when he was fit. He was our best player last season. Unbelievable season for him. I think he can do decent at this level because he's just a totally different player than what people are used to playing against. You don't play against the Dan James every week. And like I say, if he's still got that pace, injuries will take that away from him, and it's so will age, obviously. Can't escape Father Time. But I think because he's such a different profile, I would keep him. I think he loves Leeds United. He's a team player. He's not a selfish player. He's a humble guy. I think he will get his head down and he'll do all he can to work his way back into the side. We loaned him at Fulham. We treated him like shit a little bit, and he still came to Leeds and gave his all. And he deserves an opportunity to get that retribution back again and do what Aronson's done, force his way into the side and force himself not to be dropped. But as a bench option, Chris, which is where I see his future now, hopefully beyond this season too, you keep him because he's a totally different option. And he scares the life out of defenders. Keep tapping them likes, people. How many likes? 174 likes, man. Buzzing. Thank you. Thank you so much. 247 watching. It's like record numbers, this. Make sure you all come back tomorrow for Late Night Leeds. Really intrigued if we get any new viewers tomorrow night to see what you think. Something totally different to what you'll usually see on here. So be interested to see what Farke's plans formation-wise after the window is closed. Buonanotte is good signing. Same side of what played at Newcastle will start Saturday. I agree with that, Ashley. I agree with that. It's free to subscribe to. Come on. Cheers, JB. Thank you. I wouldn't even sign Strand Larsen in the summer. In the summer, now, if Leeds deem him the signing the one, I don't mind it. I do think you've got to play two up top if that happens, because I think DCL's too good to be on bench, and I think Larsen is. But again, it's just, Dovbyk is injured, mate. He's injured till mid-Jan. But I don't think that's going to put off suitors. I think he'll move in January. Great show. You're right, mate. Got a player in. Yeah. Cheers, Dale. Thanks so much for that. Leeds on at 3 p.m. Sat. It's a dodgy box day. Yeah, it certainly is. Hey up, Rune. I am Norwegian and rate Larsen, but 40 million is too much for him. Would prefer Sorloth, but can't see him leaving Atletico. Yeah, Sorloth's a great player. I don't think he'll leave Atletico either. Interesting to hear you'll know more than a lot, them being Norwegian, playing that Norway side. Yeah, 40 million I think is too much to do, but they signed him for 30. He scored 14 goals last season, so I understand the rise, and he's rated at 40 million now. He's sort of career high, obviously. So I do think when you bring someone in, if we did that, we brought someone in for 30 million, and then within a year, 14 goals, you'd want a bit more on top. But I think because the predicament they're in, Wolves, I do think we can bring that down. I think we can get him for 25, 30 million. I really do. Because if they go down, he leaves anyway, then you try to sell him in summer, and maybe you get him for less, maybe you get him for around 20 million. Maybe you're loaning him out then next season. When I think a really smart loan with an obligation would work. And I think 25 million to 30 would probably get the deal done. Facundo is a beast, such an amazing left foot. Like honestly, his left foot is unreal. Unreal. Don't know much about Dovbyk. Roman are keeping Ferguson though. Yeah, they've just signed two new players. Well, they've just signed a lad from Villa and another lad as well. So they've got an abundance of talent up top. So Dovbyk is apparently being touted out to sort of go out on loan. So hopefully, if that's the case, we are in the running for him. What would you rather have? I know a lot of people, a bit like me, without the research, I wouldn't know Dovbyk. What have you got any a sort of favourite out of them two you'd rather have in the chat? Larsen has done it in England. That's where I would go, but I think Dovbyk's probably 10 or 15 million quid less in price. Parrott, free at Ajax yesterday, he said he played for Leeds, if I'm not wrong. I'm not too sure. I know we like the look of Parrott. I know we have looked at him. There's been a lot of rumours, which I do think will have sent scouts out there, but so will a lot of people. And I think he'll join a Premier League side next season, probably in summer. Hi, Matt. I hope we can take 3 points on Saturday. Loving the buzz of how well the club's doing at the moment. That's it, Angela, isn't it? It's just a buzz around it just feels different, doesn't it? It just feels different to what it felt like when we got relegated last. It really does. It feels like we're building. It didn't, post Forest, but we're a totally different side now. I say it every stream and I must bore you, but I feel like you can't physically do it. But that first, 12, 13 games, fuck off. Like, just fuck off. We're a different side now. Different side. All the best to you and your family. Thanks, Paul. All the best to you and yours too, mate. All the best to you, to everyone you're in, pal. MOT from Rochester, New York with the kiddo Luca. Hey up, Luca. Hey up, Geezer. Hey up, Moran. Hope you're good over there across the pond. Thanks so much for watching. I don't know what to say, man. Unreal. Good to see something happening in terms of someone coming. Of course it is. I mean, I've seen people say we aren't going to bring anybody in. It's just nice to silence sort of that doubt creeping in, because the longer it goes on, and I know he brought that young kid in from Nigeria. I put a video out the other day, that Ngeji, but that obviously is an under-21 player. But the longer it goes on, if we get to 20th, 21st, 22nd of January, we've still not brought anybody on. The mood, which is positive right now, great vibes, mint, starts to turn a little bit toxic. Not in the stadium, but online. There'll be a lot of people saying, what are you doing, 49ers? And why are we leaving it so late? We need this. Buonanotte, for me, if that's the only signing we bring in, that it's enough. It's enough. If Gabby breaks down, if DCL breaks down, yeah, we're in a predicament. We are. You can't replace them too, unless you do something in the window. But there's also a high possibility that we'll be fine anyway. 8 points clear. They're doing well now. The squad's in, really healthy. Only one player injured in Dan James. We're probably all right anyway. Buonanotte right now has been the tonic I think the fan base has needed in a really good spell anyway, while spirits are high, just to give us that little jab in arm of, we know what we need. Trust us, we've got this, and we go again. And then we'll see what happens towards the latter end of the window. We'll see what happens towards the latter end. And if there's a deal that Leeds like the look of, that is doable, they will do it. And we've seen that with this one. A lot of moving parts in this one. He's had to, go from Chelsea back to Brighton, and it's happened like that with no one knowing. Brilliant. Brilliant. Well done. Well done, Underwood. Well done, Farker. Well done, Leeds, Brighton, everybody involved. Brilliant. Farker, in my opinion, has done a sterling job, says Macca. He adapted, and now he's reaping the benefits. The hard work and getting quality of signings in. He has totally 360'd it in my head. I wanted him gone after Forest. I did a video, did a lot of views, got a lot of new subscribers in, which worried me a little bit because I'm a highly positive fan person in general. Glass half full, not empty. And I'm a little bit worried because I think I got about 100 subscribers off that video, and it was a very negative, my first proper negative video. Sack him, get him gone, don't want to see him here anymore. And I was worried because obviously the environment you sort of put out is what you sort of create, and I was worried that we're going to, not flip-flop, but if it ever got better, which I didn't think it would, I thought he got sacked. And then to start saying nice things about him, I'm one of them, me, game by game. how I feel in the moment, I'll say it. You cannot dig Farker out right now. I think after Forest, deserved digging out. Probably deserved to lose his job after Forest for me. Thank God they didn't listen to me. Thank God I'm not in football and I just have a little YouTube channel and chat about it on here. Good job, because I'd have sacked him after Forest. But I tell you what, unbelievable what he's done at that club. Unbelievable. The flexibility, the change of mentality, the weapons to his arsenal that I didn't think he had. Unbelievable. His toolbox, honestly, I thought it had one tool in it. It was a fucking spanner. It's full of all sorts in that toolbox. It's full of all sorts. And he deserves so much credit, mate. So much credit. And the 49ers do for backing him and keeping him in there. There's not a lot of owners would at that point. As soon as we went under the 1 point per game, sank into relegation zone, I thought we were done. And look at us now. What a turnaround. In the hardest run of games probably possible as well. Liverpool twice, City, Chelsea, away at Brentford, Sunderland, all top 10 sides. Unbelievable. I'm buzzing now. Just even saying it, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy a minute. Nice to see us sign a player in January early on. Can see players coming and just be on loan, though. Loans will do for me till the end of the season, but yeah, it's really good to see it happen now. Really, really good. If Underwood can get rid of Harrison with Leeds paying 50% of his salary, it's a winning mind. But yeah, I mean, to get, like, say, if you get 45, 50 grand off at Bucks and his wage, just take it. Get all 90 off. You're a chuffing magician, aren't you? You know what I mean? But maybe we're asking too much, Bill, aren't we? To sort of expect him to pay all 90 grand of his wages, especially in that league. You know, they haven't made the money over there, either. But hopefully we can, again, navigate his way through to make the deal the best for Leeds United. Because ultimately, it's all about Leeds United for us, isn't it? 205 likes, 240 people watching. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, smash a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Unbelievable. Wow. I would love it if we buy after the summer and who knows after the World Cup. Yeah, well, again, World Cup, maybe a star or two evolve from that and we'll look good. But I tell you what, we're an attractive proposition now, aren't we? You look at Buonanotte coming to Leeds now. Anybody looking at the run of form that Leeds had through December, what a proposition it looks to, you know, as a club now. We always talk about the history, the fans. Obviously, the fans are the main talking about. And as a fan, you want to hear them say, can't wait to play at Ellen Road. The fans are famous, you know, can't wait. But they've also, guess what they've also got? They've also got their eyes just to sit there in December and go, wow, Leeds have turned it around. Get to January, what Leeds are interested in? I'll lay this out. And it's not just big club, history, fan base. It's actually club, decent, right now, going places, manager, knows what he's doing, different, exciting side. You're at Strand Larsen, struggling at Wolves, and you go 6'4", you know, direct, similar to Calvert-Lewin in a lot of ways. Calvert-Lewin wrote off, can't keep fit, hasn't scored more than a handful of goals in 3-4 years. Goes to Leeds United, one of the best strikers in Premier League this season. If you're Strand Larsen, if you're Dovbyk, you look at that going, I want to play there. I want to play for that manager. Couldn't have said that 6, 7, 8 weeks ago. What a fucking turnaround. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. Not quite a dance, mate. A truffle shuffle. Easy, matey. New here, but wish your family had a good Xmas. I'm a massive Leeds fan, MOT. Thanks, Macaulay. I hope you had a great Christmas too, and I hope 2026 has started well for everybody in here, including you, man. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Talked to a West Ham fan yesterday, says Gangin. He indicated that West Ham are considering altering the asking price for Paqueta. Enjoys on the rare days he turns up, but he's frustrated. Yeah, again, I said this, didn't I, Gangin? He's a luxury player, a clutch player. Is he a let's roll my sleeves up and get West Ham out of this mess? I'm not too sure he is. Other players, Bowen is. Bowen will give you that. We need 38 to stay up. 38 definitely keeps you up, but there is an argument that, you know, less than that will keep you up because West Ham looks so poor. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Pete. I have told all my friends about your channel to be there for you. Cheers, Paul. Thanks so much. Yeah, tell your friend to tell your friend to tell your friend. I'm a couple of hundred away from 5K. I am going to shit the bed when I hit 5K. I can't even believe it. Shit like it's done happen to me, so thank you. Championship current top 3, Coventry, Borough, Ipswich survived this season and we have a cracking chance. Kershaw nailed it, mate, 100%. This is the weakest set of newly promoted sides I think we've had in a long time. I think these 3 do go back down. And again, I've loved it this season. How Leeds and Sunderland have sort of stuck it to the man and gone, I tell you what, you think we're all shite, we're going to go back down. We'll show you. Sunderland have set the bar, slipping a bit now, but set the bar. Credit to them. We've crept up now, and all of a sudden 8-point gap. 2 established Premier League sides look like they're going to go down as we're sitting here now on the 15th of January 26. But Coventry, Borough, and Ipswich for me, and don't get me wrong, anything can happen. But they will be bookies' favourites to go back down, and I reckon that will happen. And then we're into that third year again. And by year 3, you shouldn't be going down. We did, but if anyone's going to do it, Leeds United are going to do it. But I firmly believe we are a different animal. And for the stick the 49ers have got, I think you're going to start seeing in the next 12 to 18 months an established Premier League side looking every part that. I really do. I back this board. This is a board I've really been behind, and even felt a little bit shit with the whole Blunderwood and all that. Yeah, inexperience. But I actually felt the window were a lot better than people thought. And I'm really pleased in this last couple of months we've seen that. There's only Perry that I have a question mark against. Every other player we brought in, I think added something to the squad, and I think we've done really well. The physicality, the players that play, having to go direct at times, the 3 at the back. I think the signings we got in have been fantastic. Whereas 2 months ago, Bornau hadn't played, waste of money. James Justin hadn't played, waste of money. Biol hadn't played, waste of money. All of a sudden, 3-4 players, you're like, oh, we only got 3 or 4 right. Actually, now we've had a long enough sample size to look at it. We've seen the squad and the roles change, and people get more minutes. Injuries that are bound to happen, people step in. All of a sudden, James Justin's like, wow, what a right back he is. And he's back up. Wow, he could be starting over Bogle. He's good enough to start. Unreal. Biol, all of a sudden, he hasn't been able to take Strauch out. Didn't look that good in back 4. Tell you what, we can't drop a back 3. We can't take Biol out of this. We've got. You might want to play over. I fancy playing a back 4 in this game. Nah. Stick with back 3 because they've just been that good. It's sort of made. Like the back 3 with Biol, I think Biol's been that good that's they've just got to keep that now to keep Biol inside really as well. It works from the point of view of tactically it works anyway. The 3 at the back, it's been an absolute revelation. But the fact that Biol's probably been our best centre half in last month, rivaling Joe Rodon anyway, was fucking unreal. I love him. It's been class. It's been absolutely class. Grueve's League 1 at best. He's shocking. He's not strong enough. I disagree with that, JB. But it's what it's about, opinions. I don't think he's that bad. Gruev does the job he's supposed to. He's just a tidy player. That's how I word him. Tidy. It's like being called cute. Oh, you're cute. Probably not that nice. Oh, you're really nice, you. He's got a lovely personality. Yeah, I'm fat, I know. But yeah, I think he's a tidy player. Goes about his business well. Utmost professional. Leeds dub. Gruev is useless. And then again, I disagree. He's useless. He's a back passer. He gives you nothing. I bet you won't saying that when he put that in onion bag in semi-final against Norwich, were you, a couple of years ago, when he put that free kick down and buried it. I bet you won't saying that then, were you? Didn't pass backwards, did he? I'm only messing, but he didn't. I'm right. Gruev is fine for cover backup. I tell you what, I don't know what anybody expects for 5th choice. I don't know what anybody expects for 5th choice. I really don't. Is Gruev unreal? No, he's not. He's just a tidy footballer. We had Adam Forshaw wearing nice Billy Bremner number 4 on his back in Premier League when we were last there. I know when I was injured, but Gruev's better than Adam Forshaw. And we had an owner that thought Forshaw was the answer. Do we need a midfielder? No, I've got Adam Forshaw. Gruev's better than Forshaw. Forshaw. He's better than Forshaw. Strand Larsen for the striker signing, in my opinion. He breaks up the play. He does. Gruev chat. Gruev. Popping off. Gruev is good enough. He's a workhorse. If you look at the stats, he doesn't give the ball away. He's solid. And every team has a player or needs a player that just recycles possession, just keeps it ticking over. Not fantastic, but that's why he's 5th choice. But he's not a League 1 player. Very safe player. He's part of the squad. And in games where you want to keep the ball because you're winning and you want to see a game out, he comes in. And guess what? He's trusted by Farke. And Farke gets our trust right now, doesn't he? Mark Story, enjoy watching your content. The most out the Leeds content creators at the moment. Thank you. Talk a lot of sense. Need to get your channel out there more. Maybe try get yourself on bigger shows. Cheers, Mark. Really appreciate you saying that. Thanks a lot. So you know what it is, Mark? When I first started the channel 15 months ago, I used to go on Joe's show. So me and Joe, we speak. Obviously, I'm in content creators cut with him and stuff. We've got each other's number. I spoke to Jared and stuff. I speak to a lot of. We're all sort of quite tight-knit, to be fair. We all speak from week to week. And I've been on other shows, and you know what it is? I just quite like doing my own thing, Mark. So I just sort of just grow organically now, you know. I like doing my own thing. I've got my best mate Priestley, who I do, you know, my vlogs with, and he comes on for an instant match reaction in car. I've got AG and Boss Nass, who I quite like how I've sort of got my little clique, my little circle. And we just do his own thing. So yeah, I mean, I could push. I probably could. I could probably message Jer and do a show with Jer next week. You know, it's one of them. Like, it's as and when I feel like I want to do it. So because it's just my hobby, I just sort of go when I want to go, and I don't really plan much with anybody else for that reason. But yeah, no, you're right what you're saying, Mark, 100%. But yeah, I'm just in my groove at the minute. I like to pop on in on my own and have a chat with chat. What I find is, what I will say is, if I do streams with other creators, I struggle to do what I'm doing now with chat, and I pride myself on trying to get almost maybe 90% of comments on screen and chat with us. When it's at 243 people, which is now, it's getting to the point now where I can't do that, and I've always prided myself, and every comment gets read out, and that's sort of been a difference to other people. It's getting to the point now where I'm struggling, but that's why my streams end up being nearly 2 hours long, because I do my best, because I want everybody to have a voice. But like I say, I am having to skim over some comments, and I do apologise for that. But thanks for that, Mark. Really appreciate it. Paul Schofield, just found your channel. Been a Leeds fan for over 50 years. Love the content. Be great to get the dizzy heights of David O'Leary days I remember and Man Can Dream. Thanks, Paul, again. Lovely to hear of a new subscriber. Really appreciate that. Leeds fan of over 50 years. You've seen some stuff, Paul. You've seen, and you're still standing. I love that. Yeah, the David O'Leary days were when I sort of fell in love, obviously. I was born in 87. A little bit too young for the early 90s success. Mid-90s onwards. But yeah, when it got to that David O'Leary, that was like the peak as a kid for me. Unreal. And you look at the younger generation now, who've got like League One and Championship days as their peak. It's been a bit shit on it for that next generation. But I'm hoping for my boy Theo, who's mad on Leeds United now and football in general. I'm hoping he's got something to celebrate going forward. I really do. JB, give over, mate. Mark, a roll on the summer if we stay up, what players we can go in for. Again, you stay up, mate, and you reassess it summer. Hopefully, financial woes won't be as tight, and we can throw a bit of money around, because Leeds United, with a good end to this season, with a view of pushing and keep the squad together and add some quality, we can be established next season. All of a sudden, anyone outside the European spots, maybe not right now, but maybe in a year or two's time, you know, if you're going to sign for anyone, you look at Leeds, the history, look at the fan base. If you're not going to sign for the Champions League side, you're going to sign for someone outside. That Leeds United are the next best thing. We just need to stay up for the next couple of years. And I honestly, in my opinion, in 4 or 5 years' time, we could be right up there. I really believe that under this ownership, with the stadium plans, we're only going one direction for me, and it's upwards. It really is. I'm not sure, Punky. I think he's registered in time. Potentially, he might be. I don't think he gets any minutes. So, in my opinion, I'd love us to be in a position where maybe with a goal or two up, maybe 2 up. It'd be hard because Fulham are a good side, and maybe we can bring him on for the last 10, 15 minutes. He hasn't played many games this season, no, but he did play in the cup this week, so he played 69, 70 minutes then. Peter Hodgson, cannot wait for late night Leeds, my MOT. Cheers, man. Thank you. Mark Hall, I'm in for brain surgery tomorrow morning. This tonight has been great and took my mind off it. Mark, I wish you all the best, mate. In your recovery, and I hope surgery goes well tomorrow. I'm sure it will. You can drop me a message. We'll have a chat if you need, mate. Make sure you're back when you can, and let us know how you get on. But yeah, big love to you and your family, pal, and wishing you well, and I'm sure everybody else in chat will, Mark. So take care. And let us know how you've got on, pal, please. Gangrene, I feel like Strand Larsen has down tools a little bit. He's not hitting the heights of to justify signing him this season, especially. I get that, but he's at Wolves. I can't hammer him too much. The profile of the player means more for me than a temporary patch of form. He got 3 goals in the cup against low league opposition, but he's on 6 goals, I think, in 20 games. It's not that bad. But for 40 million, it doesn't seem great, but he's at Wolves, mate. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think Larsen's a better fit with DCL. Yeah, I agree, Chris. I think him and DCL up front would be class. I really do. Bloody hell, Gruev, can we stop talking about Gruev? Maybe you have now. I'm still 20 minutes behind. I'm going to have to skim over a few. Andy, I can't wait for the Arsenal game because the fuckers not getting it. Yeah, I'm really intrigued. I'll tell you what, right? We probably don't beat Arsenal. We probably lose. Let's be fair, even though it's at Ellen Road, and I'll probably back us to win because that's what kind of guy I am, right? But what a decent team to measure herself up against from the team that battered us 5-0, playing the old Farker way of out from the back, possession-based football, which only works when you've got better players than the team you're playing. We've seen that in 2 years in Championship. What a great team to play in a couple of weeks' time with this newfound confidence, this newfound lease of life that the whole club's got from top to bottom with different ways of playing than Arsenal. Come on, beat us 5 at our place. Beat us 5 at our place. I can't wait. I cannot wait for that game. Cannot wait for it. Dale Hodgson, you know your stuff, mate. I don't, pal. I don't. I've just got my own thoughts, but I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that so much. Skip a few there. Bin Juice. Get Trafford on with Darlow as backup. Sadly, Perry is another Melia. He can't catch a ball and flaps at corners and positioning suspect. Complete waste, 50 mil. The only deal for me, Bin Juice, they've got wrong is Perry. You've got to hope that he comes good because it's a lot of money down the pan. But yeah, I agree. I agree that he's been the worst signing so far. Sky said today that West Ham will only agree the Paqueta sale if loaned back for the rest of the season. We'll be happy for him to stay, especially if he isn't going to be there. I sort of get that, but who's going to want to spend? I mean, I don't know how much he's up for, and then loan him back. You do that with kids, don't you? You do that with a young lad. You know, we did it with Ngeji. You sign him, and you go, yeah, he's our player, and you loan him back because you don't quite need him now. I think if you're going to sign Paqueta, I assume it'll be a high fee. I don't think you get the luxury of being able to loan him back for end of season. I know why they're doing that, because obviously to lose one of their star players in a relegation battle is less than ideal. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Rob, hiya, mate. Hope you're good. Hope you're doing well, mate. Great news today, Steve. It is, pal. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Definitely. I agree with that one too. Grove is a steady Eddie player. Hey up, Mark. How are you doing, pal? Gruev does exactly what he was brought in for. Not flash, but a good hard-working player. I cannot believe the things I'm hearing. Like, Gruev's overtook the stream. It's all about Gruev. Get into the Gruev. Matty loves doing shows like tonight. Yeah, Richard, I absolutely love it. Like I say, I could certainly ask anybody in the scene really to come and do a stream, and they'd be glad they do it. I've had pretty much everybody on the scene on this show: Joe Blackburn, Evie, Joe. I've had nearly everybody really come on here, but I really just love me and chat. Love it, absolutely love it. And obviously, I want to grow and get bigger and better at it and give you more entertainment. I want to get better, but obviously with that comes the difficulty of doing what I love, which is ultimately trying to get everybody a voice to speak, and the comments. I absolutely love doing it. So you really enjoy the streams, but yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you. I'm glad you do, Carl. Because we're all just fans, aren't we? You know, I know nothing that nobody else knows. Do a bit of reading, which gives me a nosebleed at times, so I'm not the best reader. But I just like to give my opinions on stuff, and I hope people want to listen. And madly you do. So it's class. Leeds are becoming a frightening opponent at exciting times. Yeah, Mick, I have to agree with that. I think his starting 11 is good. I think it's elevated massively by Buonanotte, and the bench looks really good now. Looks really good. I have, Leeds Dub. I've skimmed over Gruev chat because I don't want to go there, mate. We're not going to go there. You don't rate him. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to call a Leeds player a donkey, mate. I've probably done it before, mate. I have, but yeah, I've skimmed over them. Harrison, done deal. Rumours of medical on Friday. Praying it's true. I think it goes through. I don't think we'd have signed off on Buonanotte if that wasn't going to happen, in my opinion. I do feel like it's sort of replaced Harrison. I'm actually surprised it wasn't Harrison to get announced first. Obviously, there's always a risk that there's been a stumbling block, which probably is financial. But yeah, I think he goes. I've been a fan for over 60 years, and they have always tried. Yeah, they do drive us nuts, don't they? Yeah, good luck, Mark. Good luck, Mark. Yeah, everyone echoes what I said there. Great. Good luck, Mark, says West Yorkshire Auditor. Mark, all the best. Your family will be thinking of you. Yeah, Mark. Loads of love for you in chat, Mark, which hopefully you're still here to see. Seriously, I love it. Leeds, I won't say to one club. 100%. Any news on Buonanotte's medical, says George. Will he be able to play this weekend after a few years of not signing anyone in this January? They finally do. Medical, I mean, he passed it. We signed him, so I don't think there were any issue there. And I think he's got to be signed up by 1 o'clock tomorrow on Friday. So he will be signed up now, I would imagine, and registered. You wouldn't sign him today and not register him with a 24-hour sort of swing, would you? So he will be. I think he'll be able to play against Fulham. I just don't think he'll play. Maybe he makes a bench. Let's be fair. Harrison won't be on the bench, and he normally is. So Buonanotte is probably on the bench. I don't expect to see him play, though. Can we have silence for Mark tomorrow night? Try to shut us three up. He's a tough ass, but what I'll do is I'll make a note and we'll give a shout out to Mark tomorrow night instead. We'll give Mark a shout out. Make a note of that. Mark shout out. Hopefully all thing touch wood, it all goes well. You are very brainy. Thank you. No one's ever said that to me before. Appreciate that. Leeds Dub says, Mark, all I got that done. I had a tumour taken off the front of my brain when I woke. I didn't know I was done. That was 11 years ago. I'm fine except for you bugger. You bugger. Good luck, mate. You'll be fine. I swear. I love that, Leeds Dub. Thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for sharing. Really appreciate it. Still reading that dead serious. What bloody hell? Yeah, gonna have. All right, mate. Still there. George says, after a fair few years of not signing anyone in January, transfer window, they finally did what fans wanted and got players. Yeah, which is lovely. Sebastian, how is Joe doing? He's just so passionate as you are about Leeds. People are missing him. Hopefully we're back soon. Yeah, Joe's been really good. He keeps putting stuff on his social media. He looks fit and well, and I don't think... I don't know how long he's in rehab for, so I can't comment. I don't know if it's like a 8-week, 2-week, 4-week, but I tell you one thing, he looks the best he's looked in a long while. So I think when he's done, he's going to come back 10 times the version he was before. I'm sure he'd admit that. But yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. He's doing well. I don't wish bad on anybody at all. Everyone has the faults, but we've just got to try and support everybody, whether it's people in chat, people online, whatever it is. I'm in a good headspace. No negativity from me in any. Don't get any bigger. You are huge. I am a huge lad, mate. 6'2" and a bit, and yeah, very heavy. Would take 4 points from the next 2 games. West Ham lose the next 2, 12-point gap, 15 to go. Yeah, Peter Evans, I could see that as well, mate. Really could. Let's stop falling out in chat. There's a little bit of falling out. No personal attacks. Yes, Chris. Please, no falling out. We don't have any falling out on my chat ever. So let's keep it all PG and nice, please. Keep out this chat then, yeah. Please do. We never have any shit in my chat ever. And it sort of sets me apart from other channels, and I'm proud of that. So please just keep that as I've said, please. Mark Edison, Buonanotte already said on TV he's ready to play on Saturday. Yeah, well, he'll be ready. I don't read much into it. They haven't played many games. He's 21-year-old. He's played 8 games. He's been at Chelsea. It is what it is. I personally think he's fit and ready to go. I just don't think he'll play, just based on the fact that everyone's fit bar Dan James. We don't need to rush it. If he's in the bench, great. If he can come on for a bit, great. Hey up, Lewis. Buonanotte in Dovbyk in this window, then maybe go for Larsen, then Wolves go down, unless we find a better suited striker. I'd be up for that. What I will say is I really, really want a left-sided player, and Dovbyk, obviously a central defender. I want a left-back as cover massively. I think that's his next position we need to do. Mate, I hope you are right. If we get 2 more players, we'll finish 12th. I think we will bring another 2, mate. Yeah, hopefully. I do. I think striker and left. No worries. Will do, Matty. Not doing for these in chat. I have no clue what's happened. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. What's to say, Andy? Do you really think we lose against Arsenal at home, mate? No, well, if I had to say now, probably. It's probably, I look at the games Ellen Rowe still got to come, and City and Arsenal at 2, I look at and go, get anything out of them games and it's a bonus, isn't it? But I'm not one who often says free passes and all that shit. I just think go play the game, and 11 against 11, what can happen if we play our best version and they're slightly off it, which is what it needs, Andy. We play 10 out of 10 and they play 10 out of 10. We'll still lose game, don't we? There needs to be a little bit of, we need to hit the heights, make it difficult for them. And if they're not quite at the race, we can beat them. Of course we can. They looked average at Chelsea. We beat Chelsea. Different kettle of fish now, Matty. We will run them off the pitch 10 up 3-2 league. Hey, Andy, you can come back at me if we don't win that. If we lose that game, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Yeah, he did play 65 minutes in the cup against Charlton. So like I say, he's played recently, so it's looking good. So I just want to quickly before we sort of bring it to a conclusion, I'll quickly just bring up a little bit about Fulham, just to sort of end on. So, Fulham, 9th in the Premier League table. Great season for Fulham. I've seen a few teams, Newcastle, Brentford, Fulham, have sort of just creeped up out of nowhere. I mean, Brentford 5th. I mean, give me a break. Keith Andrews, what is he playing at? He was supposed to be shit. Keith Andrews, you were supposed to be shit. Anyways, this run of form Fulham have gone on. I didn't know till obviously before I come on there. They've gone 7 games unbeaten. The last 2 games, Liverpool and Chelsea. Yeah, they've had some all right fixing there. Your Burnleys, your West Hams, your Forest. 3 games you're looking at going, let's go get 9 points. But how many teams actually go do that? If we were playing those 3 games, we'd all say we can get 9 points here against those sides. They're all they're all bottom 4 sides. Would we go get 9 points though? Maybe now. You'll probably all say we would, and maybe we would. But not on every occasion does that happen. And then they've had Palace, tough game away from home, got a point, and then Liverpool, Chelsea. So they are absolutely flying. They beat the teams they should be beating, and they're hard to beat in the games against the sides that you'd be hoping to get something from, but not guaranteed. Unbelievable stuff, really, by them recently. After a poor start to the season, Marco Silva really rate him as a manager. Daniel Farke speaks highly about him. I did think at one point he may get sacked. He's turned it round, as Daniel Farke has. Away from home, only won 3 and 10, lost 5. They're conceding a lot of goals away from home too. But like I say, they have had an upturn in performance. And obviously, the star man is the man we didn't get. There were a lot of talk about Rodrigo Muniz, 15 million quid. It looks like a good deal that we didn't get that done. Again, don't want to read too much into short-term form because he's a good player, Rodrigo Muniz, and he's had injury problems being in that side. Raul Jimenez at 5 goals. Decent player, 3 assists. That's a great return so far. 8 G&A for Raul Jimenez. We know what you get from him. Big, physically imposing striker. Will give our defenders problems, but the aerial battle will be interesting. He's great in the air, but so is Biol. Fantastic in the air is Biol. It's going to be a great battle between Jimenez and Biol for me. But Harry Wilson, 7 goals, 4 assists. Not in our wildest dreams did we think that were possible for Harry Wilson. It was an underwhelming last-ditch attempt on the last day of the window for me in the remaining hours of the window for Harry Wilson. I like the player, didn't love the player, was quite embarrassed that Leeds wanted a Pajau-level signing, as a lot of us were, and we ended up scrambling round, begging for Harry Wilson, and handled that situation poorly, in my opinion. But what a fucking season that guy's had. 11 G&A for Fulham. I think he scored 5 in 5 for Wales in the World Cup qualification campaign. It's been an unbelievable, coming of age sort of, he ain't even a young player. He's mid to late 20s now, Harry Wilson. Just what a season, the season of his career when he's going to be out of contract at the end of the season. So they're going to be a tough side. There's no two ways about it. They've got flair. They've got a talent in abundance. They've got a striker who's hungry for goals. Always going to be a threat is Jimenez, and they've got Harry Wilson who can turn the game on its head like that. Can score from anywhere on the pitch. Really, we've seen him score from halfway line. We've seen him cutting on his left and better yet, set pieces, free kicks. Do not give a free kick anywhere near the edge of our area, Leeds. We are one of the most disciplined sides in the league. No red cards this season, which is fantastic. The yellow cards we've had. Amper who got yellow card at Liverpool, and that was a shame he got suspended. But on the whole, we've toed the line really well while still maintaining the physical edge, which I fucking love about us. So well disciplined. Do not give Harry Wilson a free shot on goal at any point in this game because he will punish you. And that's sort of all I'm going to say on Fulham. And I'm going to give you my score prediction now. Let me know yours in the comment section below. I am going to go for Leeds United, a 2-0 victory against Fulham. That's where I'm going. Hugo Breno, not a bad shout. Not a bad shout at all. 239 likes. Are you lying? 243 likes. Whoa, that's mad. I bet I can't get 300. I bet I can't. I'm going to wrap it up now anyway, peeps. Yeah, thanks so much. Good night, people. I was a user for 30 years, but my family at Leeds brought me back. Well done, Dale, mate. Well done, mate. Hope you're proud of yourself. Well done. Thanks for sharing, man. Look, where Man United are, they are shit. They are. Good night, all. Cheers, Rich. Pat Dunn, sorry. Cheers, Matty. Great stream. Thank you as always, Pat. Really appreciate it. You keep me going, Leeds family. That's what we're all about. Leeds Dub. This is a great channel. Sure, no point in arguing. We're all. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Farker is a mystic. Mac with signings, Buendia, Harry Wilson. Imagine how we would have done if we fully set him with a mark. Yeah, Lewis, imagine now if we'd have had Harry Wilson all season. But yeah, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. There's an opportunity that he comes in January. There's an opportunity maybe for summer. We'll see. No smoke about fire. But I think Buenanotte has probably put silence to that happening this window for Wilson, but maybe in summer we can exercise that. If Wilson was going to sign a new deal, then Silva wouldn't have looked so frustrating. The presser today, he will leave on a free in the summer. Yeah, awful business signing to lose your best player in the form of his life for free. Martin, excellent. Thanks, Matt. Leeds. Thanks so much. I hope so, Peter. Does Darlow start? For me, yes. For Farker, no, I don't think he does. I think he goes back to Perry, which I'll be gutted with. But I think we'll win the game regardless. 1-0 Leeds be tighter than you think. Nick, look, LUFC. Evening, I said last night we wouldn't make a signing. What do I know? What do you know, Nick? What do you know? I know we got one done. Happy days, Nick. Everyone's buzzing with this. Good night, Martin. Great show. Says Paul. Thanks so much. Take care, Matty, as always. Love Leeds from Pakistan. Thank you so much, buddy. Good night, people. Evening all. Good night, all, Dilip. Yeah, right. Want a tune on the way out. Right, everybody. Let's play a tune. 214 people. Let's play you out with a tune. So, I've got an album on Spotify. I do a bit of singing and stuff, but I haven't sung these songs. Anyone who knows. If you don't like AI, you won't like it. But hopefully, you don't mind the song. I've wrote some songs. I wrote them about, 8 or 9 months ago now. Got a few songs in here. I'm going to play us out with White and Gold, the Ballad of Gary Speed. A bit of a hat puller, this one. I wrote in around his the date of his passing. Massive Gary Speed fan. Play you out with this one. If you haven't heard it, hope you enjoy it. Drop us a comment, let us know. But please please subscribe on your way out. And take care, everyone. Thanks so much. Record numbers for me. Love you all the bits. Be back tomorrow night for Late Night Leeds, please. Yeah, class. See you all later. Good night. Bye-bye.
Gives Gary Speed a run. Away goes Speed. He's got a start on them all this time. Go on, Gary Speed. Get one yourself, son. And what a great goal.
He wore the white with pride and grace, a Yorkshire lion in his place. From Mellon Road to distant fields, a heart of steel, a soul that heals. He rose with youth, he led with might. Number 11 burning bright. The crowd would cheer, the cop would sing, for Speedo's magic on the wing. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, in every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you, forever proud, forever true. We touched the sky, champion's dream, we watched it fly. With Batty striking and McAllister too, but Gary, we always look to you. You gave us hope, you gave us fight, you lit our darkest days with light. A gentleman, a warrior bold, your legacy will never grow old. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, in every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, oh, we remember you, forever proud, forever true. Fade, your name in stone will still be laid. At Ellen Road, your spirit walks, in every match, in every talk. Oh, Gary Speed, you live on still, in every chant, on every hill. From Leeds to Wales, your story's told, a hero draped in white and gold. Oh, Speed, for loving you.